Hello everyone, this is G and I'm back with another video, and yes, I look ratchet as hell. I look ratchet as hell. I usually would have the scarf on, but I washed it today. I've spent all day running around doing laundry and errands, and my scarf is drying and I don't have a backup scarf. So yeah, this is my hair, completely undid. It's late, I have no desire to try to look presentable, so forgive the hair. Although, as you can see, it is not very long. No, doesn't grow long unless I perm it, and I haven't permed in years. But it is still very thick, for which, given all the stress I go through, honestly, I'm glad that the only problem, if any of you want to call it a problem, is that this area is going gray. Right, but, so there we go. I actually still have hair under there. But anyway, this isn't about my hair, but yes, I spent nearly a minute flexing about my hair because I'm an egotist like that. But I just wanted to first of all, as always, hope everybody's well, and second, I wanted to discuss something. It's not the Jay Lee situation that seems to be put to bed, but rather someone that I reported on, right, or commented on, which is Richard Pace, right? Richard Pace is a guy. He's Canadian. He's a Canadian. I forget exactly what he does in comics. I think he does art. His art's good. Sad thing that the rest of him isn't exactly all that nice a person. But anyhow, this guy thinks that he's, Wolverine, right? He has his Twitter picture, shows him smoking a cigar and all this other stuff, but he doesn't have any of Wolverine's humanity or pathos. But anyway, the reason I bring this up is because the politician Herman Cain recently passed away. I believe he ran for president on the Republican ticket back in 2012, and he was apparently part of Trump's administration in some fashion. Now, I don't particularly follow politics, and in most instances, I don't really care. But what's interesting is that Herman Cain is one of the few out. I shouldn't say out, because that implies sexuality, and it wasn't a matter of sex, but one of the few, I guess you can say, openly, one of the few black people who was openly conservative, right? One of the few openly black conservatives. Because, see, in the black community, right, in the American black community, right, it is considered a sin and a deep shame for a black person to not be a Democrat. Doesn't matter the history of both parties, the Republicans and the Dems, and how the African American community has been loyal to both. Actually, many blacks, like right after the Civil War, were actually very conservative because it was a Republican president, right, Lincoln, who freed the slaves, right? Blacks didn't really start becoming Dems in mass until about the mid-60s under Lyndon B. Johnson, and it's pretty much been that way since, right? But you have a few people, right, and Herman Cain was one of them who actually do commit the grievous sin in the black community of being a conservative, right? So he's passed away. I feel for his family. The man was 74. Apparently he died of the coronavirus, right? So again, he's passed away, right? He's passed away. He's a black conservative who once ran for president and was working for Trump, right? Part of Trump's administration in some fashion. So you would think that Richard Pace might just leave this story alone. It's got nothing to do with comics, right? Or if he's going to comment about it, just, very generally state that, hey, this man has passed away. No. This is Richard Pace. So Richard Pace decides to make sexually degrading comments, right, about this man, right? So his first tweet, which was about 9 hours ago, right, he's retweeting, or I shouldn't say retweeting, he's showing a tweet from Herman Cain, or at least from his account, right, saying that masks will not be mandatory for the event, which will be attended by President Trump. People are fed up, right? I don't know which event this is. I'm assuming it's some sort of political rally, right? The presidential election's in a few months. Probably some rally. Right, so simple post, right? Okay. There are many people who don't think that the mask or, this crackdown and enforcement of mask, is really helping people with their health and with the public health, or is worth the risk of, people going out of business, right? My opinion is that's a very nuanced situation. I'm not necessarily sold on the mask, but at the same time, it's like, what we really need is a plan, right? In lieu of a cure, which is not going to come for some time, in my opinion, we need a plan, and the plan needs to go beyond just face mask, right? We need a plan for businesses. We need a plan for travel. We need a plan for how to get back to normal life while still having to take into account these restrictions, right? But anyway, my point in all this is that, right, so this black conservative has died, and Richard Pace is showing this image, right, talking about masks will not be mandatory for whatever event this is. So his response is, right, his little comment on this. Again, a man who's just died, right? He didn't just let that demon, let's just say, ejaculate, right, into his mouth. He swallowed. Richard Pace, everybody. Richard Pace, everyone. Making a degrading sex joke at the expense of a dead man. All because said dead man was a black conservative and worked for President Trump. You see, to Richard Pace, black lives don't matter if those black lives, if those black people, right, don't toe the party line. He has another tweet. Scrolling up. Here we go. This one's from 2 hours ago, right? So not very, not a lot of distance in between the tweets. So then Richard Pace writes, Herman Cain died from, right? It's like a Twitter poll or whatever, and gives you like 3 options, and all the options are the same: demon semen. Real mature, Rich. Real mature. A man has just died. Granted, your political opposite, right? Your ideological opponent, right? Your antithesis. I get that. But you couldn't show the least bit of humanity. You instead decide to make sex jokes at the man's expense. Because A, he's dead, so he can't respond to you. Right? Given that you are a small shrimp nothing in comics, his people aren't going to know who the hell you are, so they're most likely not going to respond to you. And more importantly, you claim that Comicsgate is a hate group and all this other stuff, yet you show absolutely no respect for a man who has just died. You show nothing but contempt, and you make obscene sex jokes at a dead man's expense because that dead man was a black conservative. Seriously, think about it for a moment. Think about if, let's say for the sake of argument, and again, this is an argument. Let's say for the sake of argument, right? Hypothetical example. Let's say Obama passed away, right? Former Democratic president of the United States. And Ethan Van Sciver, who is a noted Republican. I don't know if he voted Trump. I don't much care, but I do know that he's a Republican and a conservative. Right? Let's again, for this hypothetical example, Obama has passed away, right? Former Democratic president, black man, or at least a half black man, and Ethan Van Sciver, who is a noted Republican, said, right, about former President Obama, right, said he didn't just let that demon ejaculate in his mouth, he swallowed. Let's put Richard Pace's words in Ethan's mouth for a moment in this hypothetical situation, and then let's say Ethan, did this demon semen thing, right, regarding mocking the death and making obscene sex jokes about the death of President Obama. Richard Pace would be one of the first people to call out Ethan on that, if that happened, which I don't think it would, right? Ethan can be very salty, he can be very insulting and immature, but I don't think even Ethan would stoop that low, right? But here's the thing, while I don't think Ethan would do that, I know for certain Richard Pace would, because Richard Pace has. There's proof right here on the internet. The internet is forever. He can delete these. He can delete his entire Twitter if he wanted to. These will never go away. So this is Richard Pace, in my opinion, showing that black lives actually don't matter to him. Black lives don't matter to him if those black lives are not towing the party line. If those black lives, right, don't follow in the liberal Democrat pipeline, then their lives don't matter. A black conservative dies, who cares? Let me just make immature, obscene sex jokes about him. First of all, Rich, teenage boys could make better sex jokes than you. I know because I heard plenty of them, and I made a few back when I was a teenager. This is what happens when you grow up around boys all your life. You learn a few zingers, right? A few X-rated zingers. Let's put it that way. So I've heard teenagers make better sex jokes and insults than Richard Pace. That's saying something. But anyway, that's the video. Please let me know what you think, and I will see you on the next one. Have a good day, everybody. Bye.